I'll say it confidently, I have no problem saying it. That was one of the most entertaining basketball games I've ever seen in my entire life. To see LeBron, Steph, and KD, the three guys who define their generation, who in theory should be on their way out, to see those three guys lead the way and come up with clutch play after clutch play to lead Team USA to a win was just so beyond special. And it's something I don't know if I'll be able to fully process, at least until these Olympics are over, and maybe not until all three of those guys are retired. But it's just, with every big game and with every big moment that they have, it's just so funny to think back on before the Olympics, how we all thought, like, yes, we knew they were going to be part of a team. We knew that they were still good enough to be big contributors to this team. But it's still just so funny to think that we thought this Olympics would be sort of a passing of the torch moment to an Anthony Edwards, to a Jason Tatum, and yet here those three guys are still contributing at the highest level, still leading the way, still showing these young guys how it's done. I mean, Steph Curry with 36 points. He saved Team USA. I remember he hits that first three in the first quarter, and Noah Eagle and Dwayne Wade, who did a fantastic job on the broadcast, have done a fantastic job on the broadcast. They talked about how Steph hasn't really had that signature Curry moment yet. He's kind of struggled in these Olympics, hasn't really shown out so much. And then he finishes with 36 points, saved them time and time again when Serbia would come down and hit a three and extend the lead even more. And it felt like they were really pulling away multiple times. Steph would come back down the other way, hit a three, and keep Team USA in it. For LeBron, I mean, how many times do we have to say, LeBron, it's insane that he does, like, he got a triple-double. And how many times do we have to say how crazy it is that he does anything on this court, on the stage, at the level that he's doing at 39 years old, on the precipice of his 22nd season? It's insane. But what was super impressive was to see him guard Nikola Jokic down the stretch. I don't even know if prime LeBron could guard Nikola Jokic down the stretch. And that's not an insult to LeBron. It's just he's 6'8", 6'9", probably 20, 30 pounds lighter. And yet he's keeping Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world, out of the paint, shutting off his driving lanes. It was just so beyond insane. Kevin Durant, for him to force that backcourt violation, and then for him to hit that saucy pull-up mid-range jumper crossover, like that signature Kevin Durant. That's what was so beautiful about those final minutes, is that those three guys helped close it out, and they each did it in their own signature way. Steph Curry hitting that off the curl three, which went in and out and then back in. LeBron transition layup, where he freaking does like the jelly move in, out, and around. And then Durant to hit that signature Durant jumper where he uses his 7-foot slim Reaper frame to just create this. He didn't even really create the space. It was great defense. Durant's just that good. To see all three of those guys do it in their element was so, it was just so incredible. And what was also so special was that you see the emotion on these guys' face when they're making these plays. They're so insanely hyped. And after the game, like, everyone's embracing and they're all insanely hyped. And yes, you obviously want them to focus on, hey, like, we still got one more game to go. And LeBron mentioned that in the huddle afterwards. They got one more game to go. But, like, it was so cool to see them get so hyped up and to care so much, because it reminds you that, like, it's not all about legacy and doing everything. Like, these guys are just competitors. These guys are competitors who love the game of basketball. So yes, maybe playing in the Olympics is going to add some more wear and tear, and maybe it's going to make slogging through the regular season and next year's playoffs that much more difficult. But, like, these guys just love competing and they love playing. And you saw LeBron and Steph in particular talk about that as two guys whose NBA teams are sort of not in the best position. Both of them mentioned how it's so awesome to be playing these competitive games. LeBron said, he's almost 40. He doesn't know how many big game competitive games he has left. So it's fun. It's special for him to get to play in another one. Steph Curry, same thing. Like, he's having more fun than he's had in a while because Golden State is in a lot of disarray and a lot of chaos. So to be able to come to these Olympics and play in these big, meaningful games, it matters to these guys. It's fun for these guys, and you see it in all these emotions. And to get to do it together, where these three guys have been competitors for so long. Steph and KD were obviously teammates. But, like, these three guys have been competing, jostling with each other for the better part of over a decade, you could say. And to see them come together now and get to play with each other, it must be so special for them. It's so special to watch. It's what's so cool about the Olympics, to be able to bring all these three guys together for one common goal. It was just, again, was it one of the greatest games I've ever seen? I don't know. Oh, and also, I'm totally forgetting, like the fact that they came back, not only just won that game, but came back from down 15 points. You come back from down 15 points. I honestly thought that the U.S. was going to lose because going up against Nikola Jokic is tough, but you give Nikola Jokic a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter and you don't think he's going to be able to close it out. I thought he was going to be able to close it out, but Team USA is just better. And for them to win that game, where like you think about the narrative that's going to happen if they lose, like all hell is going to break loose, because it's one thing, Team USA, they've been beatable some of the last, handful of, whether it was like Olympics or FIBA, but that's because they haven't brought the A-team. That's always been a thing. Every time Team USA loses, it's, well, we don't have our best guys. This is literally the year where a massive deal was made about how, hey, we have our best guys. This is our A-team. These are the Avengers. To lose that game, to not even make the championship round. Yes, I know, obviously, single elimination, and with the relevance of three-point, the random hot streaks teams can get on from the three-point line, which is what Serbia did, which is how they built that lead. Anything can happen, but it would still fall on, like, Team USA not being good enough for them to still come out and pull out that win was so special. And again, for those three guys to lead the way in the ways that have made them great, where it's Steph Curry from three, LeBron inside, KD mid-range, it was so special, and it's such a nice, not necessarily a bow on how special this era of basketball has been, because obviously they're still playing, they're still going to go out next year and do their stuff, and hopefully for each of them has at least a few more years, but it was definitely something of a, like, it's a moment we're all going to remember. Like, these three guys, the guys who defined the generation, coming together to bring home this insanely important victory, this insanely important comeback to victory. It was just, like I said at the top, it was one of the most entertaining basketball games I've ever seen.